If you were hungry in central Illinois, what would you want? Our congregations have been creative in the ways they have addressed this need. In Middletown, there are 18 members of the Presbyterian Church. They saw a need and decided to feed hungry school children for one day, 1 month of the summer of 2013. With suggestions for meeting state health codes and money from the Presbytery, the project went forward. The publicity from the meals brought in not only children, but the lonely and hungry senior citizens of their town as well. In Petersburg, the Presbyterian Church has supported a food pantry for decades. Yet, they realized that canned and boxed foods only go so far. With a small grant from the Presbytery to get started, they planted a large garden and now provide nutritious, fresh produce to their neighbors throughout the growing season. In Galesburg, the church joined the national movement called Blessings in a Backpack. In cooperation with Knox College students and with money from the Presbytery, they pack backpacks with enough food for a school child and family to get them through the long, hungry weekend when school breakfast and lunch are not available to them. If you were a child in school and had no one to help you with your homework and often found yourself alone for several hours after school, what would you want? In Springfield, Third Presbyterian Church was troubled when the city decided to close all of its branch libraries. The church realized that underutilized space and the people there needed to open their own version of a branch library. With financial help from the Presbytery along with suggestions about how to make it user-friendly, the church opened a library that serves its community and changes the lives of children and their families alike. In Macomb, First Presbyterian Church knew that children needed some one-on-one time with adults to help with their at-home studies, help that was often not available in the children's homes. With guidance from the Presbytery advisor and a grant, they now invite children to have a nutritious meal and work on their homework with someone who can give them their undivided attention. If you had lots of time on your hands in the summertime and did not really know why anyone goes to church, what would you need? Outside of Nyota, at Appanoose Faith Presbyterian Church, with help from other churches and the Presbytery, they provide a vacation Bible school for their whole community. It is often the only exposure the children have to the story of our faith. If you were a child without a warm coat in the winter in central Illinois, what would you want? In Canton, the Presbyterian Church used a small grant from the Presbytery to get started providing coats to the schools to distribute to children who show up cold at school in the morning. If you were in prison, what would you miss most? For many young women in prison, it is their children. First Presbyterian Church of Normal used a peacemaking grant to support and provide volunteers for a Mom and Me program that helps female prisoners and their children to have contact with one another. If you had come to this country and could not speak the language and did not have a job, but had Christian faith, where would you go for help? In Rock Island, many refugees have found their way to Broadway Presbyterian Church. With help from the General Assembly and the Presbytery, and with a dedicated group of volunteers, the church has helped the refugees to find a faith community that welcomes them and celebrates the many gifts these newcomers bring. If you were a child who lived on the streets of Mombasa, Kenya, and engaged in unspeakable behavior just to stay alive, what would you want most? A warm bed? A way to go to school? A loving environment? A place to be safe? First Federated Church in Peoria, with generous help from the Presbytery, has started a boys' home there, and 25 young boys now have all of those things and more. They are being introduced to a new friend whose name is Jesus. And if your home has been destroyed in an F4 tornado a week and a half before Thanksgiving, what would you need? The needs in Tazewell County will go on for many months. One of those needs was met on Thanksgiving Day by serving 1,000 meals to volunteers and victims alike, meals that were purchased by the Presbytery with money provided by generous sessions and individuals. No one of us alone can adequately respond to our call as disciples to change people's lives by bringing hope in the name of Jesus Christ. When we combine our willingness to serve, our insights into the needs that we can meet, and the money it takes to accomplish hopeful deeds, there is no telling how many lives can be changed. Thank you for your continuing generosity so that together we can bring hope in the name of Jesus Christ every hour of every day.